mga cutie! Hello, Aya. Hello po sa lahat ng mga viewers natin. Hi, mga cutie!
Hi everyone! Welcome sa daldalang walang curfew!
Usapang hindi nalalockdown, ito ang QuaranTALK. Hi, Aya. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday!
Okay, so today is the 51st day of the quarantine. Sipin mo yun, magto 2 months na tayong naka-lockdown. At syempre, naghahatid pa rin tayo ng mga kwentuhan dito sa QuaranTALK.
Right! Kaya naman, mag-start tayong ulit ngayong gabi with the latest news. Dahil after niyan, meron tayong mga kasamang special guest.
Yes,
so
okay.
With the latest COVID-19 numbers.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. As of today, May 6, meron po tayong naitalang 320 new cases. So, ang total cases po natin ay sumampa na sa 10,000 mark at 10,004. Total deaths is at 658. And our total recoveries now ay 1,506 with 98 new recoveries today.
Right. So, kanina nag-press con si Yusek Vergere sa DOH. Ang sabi niya na we are seeing the flattening of the curve already. Pero ang naging interpretation ng mga netizens dito, paano magkakaroon ng flattening of the curve? Kung hindi naman natin nakikita yung curve in the first place. I heard na interpret mo to ng maayos. So can you laymanize this sa viewers natin?
Okay. And how I understand it, okay, she said that the curve is flattening. Kasi when we're looking at the numbers and at the toll, we should look at it and observe the trends. Hindi lang yung day by day na additional numbers, but look at the trends and how fast the numbers are rising.
Yeah.
So she's saying na para malaman kung naka-flatten na yung curve, merong dalawang factors or criteria. So number 1 is kung humahaba na yung panahon bago magdoble yung number ng cases. No, second is kung humahaba yung panahon bago dumoble yung pagtaas ng bilang ng namamatay. So when you say dumoble, for example, from 10, how long will it take before it turns to 20? It becomes 20, diba? So before, it takes this is before it takes 3 days.
Okay.
Before, for example, from 10 magiging 20. 3 days trend. Pero kapag naging 7 days na yung pagitan before madoble yung number, ibig sabihin it takes a longer time before dumami yung number ng cases. So may pagbagal na nangyayari. Yun yung trend na makikita. So kumbaga, pag nakita mo yung graph, hindi siya ganun ka-steep na.
Okay. Ayan. So, at least yung developments natin on the week or at least 2 weeks before we reach the second month ng quarantine, at least nagkakaroon na ng developments. At syempre, dumadagdag na rin naman yung mga tests, di ba? So, it's also a mark. It's inevitable na talagang tataas yung numbers kasi nakakaroon na mas maraming mga testing ngayon. Pero syempre, yun nga yung question are all LGUs or at least the regions capable of doing this test? So, the next question is, ang tanong ng bayan, in 10 days, tama ba? In 10 days, doon na supposedly mag-i-end ang ECQ, lalo na sa mga hotspots like in Metro Manila. Pero, Malacanang said it's still too early to say kung kaya na ba natin mag-lift or mag-extend. So, let's wait.
Yeah, kasi 'di ba every 2 weeks ang assessment din sa kung gaano katagal ang quarantine. And I think bago ka bumalik sa pinaka-zero level of precaution from ECQ, may GCQ pa.
Yeah.
At yung GCQ may iba-ibang level pa siya. So, ayun, let's anticipate that there will still be some measures in place even after May 15.
Right. And of course, yun lang muna ang pinaka-latest news kasi dadako tayo sa sunod na part which is the QuaranTRENDS. Usually, sa mga trends na nilalagay natin dito, yung mga trending na ginagawa o pinag-uusapan ng mga tao. Pero as we all know, since yesterday, merong pasabog na naman ang year 2020 at dito nga, yung nakakagulat na shutdown ng, hindi ko alam kung nakakagulat sa EA, pero ito na rin yung in-expect na rin ng iba na shutdown ng ABS-CBN. So welcome to QuaranTRENDS, and let's watch first this video na I guess will capture the emotions of everyone.
Milya.
Oops.
Maraming salamat po sa maraming taon na kami po ay inyong pinatuloy sa inyong mga tahanan. Maraming salamat po sa maraming taon na ating pinagsamahan. Hanggang sa muli, kapamilya.
Okay. So ilan yun sa mga konting messages na narinig natin kahapon. Diba, sabi nga ng mom ko, she didn't imagine na this will happen in this century mismo, na magkakaroon ng shutdown ng malaking kumpanya. So Ea Antonio, my partner here in QuaranTALK, is working in ABS-CBN. So I guess she knows most of the details here. So Ea, go ahead. Ano yung mga sentiments mo pagdating dito sa QuaranTREND ng ABS-CBN shutdown?
Just to be more specific, I work at the ABS-CBN News Channel, which is a subsidiary of ABS-CBN. So my channel and my network, ANC, airs via cable TV. So my company, ANC, is not covered by the shutdown. So ANC still airs via cable on Sky. And our programs are also accessible through iWant and Facebook and YouTube. Some are uploaded there. So going to the ABS-CBN issue, just to recap, on May 5, 2020, at around 4 o'clock to 4:30 p.m., na lumabas yung balita that NTC has ordered a cease and has issued the cease and desist order for ABS-CBN at 8 p.m. of that day, that was yesterday, last night, ABS-CBN Channel 2, DZMM, and MOR, the FM station, had to go off air. Okay? So as per the NTC order, ABS-CBN has 10 days to answer to NTC, or else the franchise and the frequency that ABS-CBN has been using for the past decades would be revoked and it could be reassigned to other media entities.
Okay.
Yun. So yun ang review of quick facts. Yes, Jules.
Yeah, to our friends who are watching right now, if you have sentiments or not questions, siguro sentiments na lang about the ABS-CBN shutdown, you can share it here and we'll try to flash it on screen. Okay, Ea, as someone working in the company of ABS-CBN, syempre kahapon iba't iba yung mga nakita ninyong mga sentiments ng ating mga netizens. So gusto kong makita kung ano yung reaction mo sa mga bagay na to. Okay, so number 1, the employers, which is ABS-CBN, failed their employees. Anong sagot mo dyan?
Nakakatawang, nakakainis, na nakakapikon. Being candid about it. But I would like to know if these people who are commenting that the ABS-CBN was supposedly failed their employees, are they even employees of ABS-CBN? Because to me, it's up to the employees to say if their employer has failed them.
Yeah.
And even when I'm not working for the channel 2 per se, but still under the network, I can say that ABS-CBN has been very supportive and very helpful to all its employees, and it really did all things and all means possible to assist its workers even through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Lahat ng healthcare, well-being, inalagaan, etc. And as of today, I think it's safe to disclose that wala pa namang layoff na nangyayari sa ABS because they're still figuring things out and trying to really take care of the employees. And also, FYI, sa mga nagsasabing the employer failed its employees, the management has been very vocal and very transparent with its employees. May message of assurance, and also meron ding chat with the bosses. So like the employees can actually reach the bosses if they have concerns. So ayun, I really don't believe that the ABS-CBN has failed its employees. But again, ako po ay isang individual lang, and okay, maybe some of the 11,000 people under ABS may feel differently and may think differently. But to me lang, if you're not part of the company, I hope you'd be careful also in judging na okay na fail ng ABS ng employees nila. Because you don't know what's happening inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 2, there is this cable company called, is this right? FICTAP? Tama ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Cable
this cable operator ba or association? Association ata.
Of the operator.
Their representative was interviewed on GMA yesterday. Tapos she was talking about their opposition to the franchise of ABS-CBN since the Pinoy administration pa lang. So there are certain issues about the frequency, tas how many channels ABS-CBN yung ina-apply nila, tas parang na-delay. So ikaw, Ea, ano ang reaction mo dito given na ginagamit ng ibang mga pro-shutdown ng ABS-CBN itong explanation ng FICTAP?
I would want to encourage everyone that before you hurl that argument around on social media, that we read first what is on the franchise documents, on the cited references, because if you do not understand it fully, I don't know how you could really speak about it as and using it as an argument to debunk the credibility of a certain network. And to me, yun lang, yung sa issue lang ng FICTAP, it has been explained and expounded in the hearings in Congress several times.
Okay.
So I don't really want to go into detail about it. Sa akin lang, caution lang sana sa mga tao, sa netizens na know your arguments first. Yan, kasi wag tayong sumama sa mga magsaspread ng misinformation kasi we're doing our fellow citizens a disservice.
Okay. Siguro last na to. Of course, this natatawa ako sa ibang mga comments, pero comment naman nila yan. Sige, isushow ko na lang para sa inyong sanity. Okay. Ayan. So, hindi naman tayo sakop ng censorship dito so far. Okay. So, ito pa niya, so far, sabi ng ibang mga pro-shutdown, the law is a law, which is right. Tama naman, di ba? No one is above the law. Pero there is an apparent atmosphere of hypocrisy for some people na galit sila dito sa PhilHealth na additional na premium na babayaran nila, which is based naman sa batas. So ayaw nila, galit sila. Pero ngayon naman, some, not everyone, some are arguing naman na based from the law din naman itong shutdown ng ABS-CBN. So as someone na, kaya kita tinatanong Iya kasi ikaw may first hand na feels talaga dito eh. Anong reaction mo sa ganyang klaseng reaction ng ibang mga tao?
Okay, I just wanna use this platform of ours to give caution to everyone na let's not spread false information talaga that we don't understand. And Jules.
Yeah. Yes.
Your question again.
Sorry?
Your question.
Yeah, my question is ano ang feel mo dito sa mga sinasabi ng mga tao na yun nga, parang a law is a law, pero day one, against sila naman sa mga laws mo, pero ngayon, yan.
Yeah. Ako, kagaya mo, naniniwala tayo sa rule of law, at good governance, transparency, accountability.
Right.
And for me, let us not use laws and human rights we're brandishing like swords or wands from the Harry Potter world to add on to feed our own biases. And I hope people will just be more critical na hindi na on laws being interpreted based on our personal biases. And it's dangerous also. So sana makatulong tayong lahat sa pagkakaroon ng mga mas critical na discourse and mas critical na pag-iisip. Yeah, it's disturbing. Masaya ako na marami nagsasalita on social media that people are taking part in the discourse.
Yeah.
But ba yung pag-iingat ang kailangan kasi may mga taong mabilis ma-impluwensyahan, mabilis maniwala sa mga sinasabi rin ng iba. And everyone who I would want to say are warriors of truth and democracy should also try to police and call out people who are spreading disturbing sentiments that are not really helpful, I think. Sa akin, unfair. Unfair naman talaga yun, Jules. Pero, ayun.
Right.
It's unfair, and we recognize the biases of the people. But for the legalities and the technicalities, we would have to leave it to the courts who are handling it. Pero, and to our leaders also.
Right.
But as citizens,
yeah, I want to
Yes.
share siguro as we end this part, no, you mentioned about biases kasi some people think na being biased is bad, 'di ba? For a company, like a media company, to show biases, siguro ang perspective ng iba, dapat hindi, dapat neutral, etc. Pero to me, parang impossible na walang bias ang isang tao, ang isang organisasyon, ang isang grupo. Lahat tayo may biases. The moment na sinabi mong bias ang isang organization, you're already stating your bias. 'Di ba? Kahit ikaw mismo, yun na yung bias mo eh. 'Di ba sinasabi mong bias yung isang company, most likely kasi baka hindi akma yung stand or yung sinasabing information ng kumpanya or ng network na yon ay against siya doon, hindi siya akma sa mga paniniwala mo. Kasi ako, bilang isang media practitioner din, kailangan ko ba maging neutral? Sa tingin ko, mas kailangan natin maging truthful. 'Di ba? Ano ba yung katotohanan dapat? Yun dapat yung sandigan natin sa pamamahayag. Ayan. Merong shinare si Rodney Galicia. Eya, would you like to read that part?
Yes. Sino ba si Neng Juliano Tamano na presidente ng FICTAC? Answer. Step nanay siya ni Attorney Adele Tamano na Chief Administrative Officer ng Dito Telecom. Question. Ano naman ngayon? Answer. Ang nagmamay-ari ng Dito Telecom ay si Dennis Uy. Sino si Dennis Uy?
Google nyo po yan. Yan.
Google nyo po kung sino si Dennis Uy. Para makita nyo yung line of reasoning niya.
Pero ito, last na talaga kasi may pahabol pala yung Malacanang press corps kanina. Naglabas sila ng kanilang statement.
Sorry. Yeah, Jules, I would just want to second that, what you said. Our bias should be with the truth and with the people.
That's right. Okay. So siguro I'd like to focus on the last part dito. Very sharp itong statement ng Malacanang Press Corps. Itong Malacanang Press Corps, sila yung grupo ng media practitioners na sumusubaybay dito sa presidential beat sila basically. Lahat ng mga affairs ng Malacanang nandun sila. So yung last part nila, we call on our colleagues in the media profession to unite in the face of this attack. We know this for what it is, whether done in the dark days of martial law or under the broad sunlight of a supposed democracy. Attacks against press freedom will only succeed when we ourselves are divided. Yan po ang bahagi ng statement ng Malacanang Press Corps hinggil sa NTC cease and desist order against ABS-CBN.
Yes. You're gonna say something about
Just a lot
yes. So to me, we cannot ABS-CBN has complied with the order. Nirespeto ang order ng NTC, umalis sa area ang ABS-CBN. Ang hindi natin pwedeng payagan ay ang pananatiling ng ABS-CBN na hindi umi-air because of these injustices.
Nanonood si Ase Chris sa atin.
Wait daw tayo.
Marami
Wait
raw
lang, Asek.
Wait lang. Clickbait daw tayo. Marami raw cuties sa nanonood ngayon. Wait lang po. Dadako tayo sa sex life maya-maya lang. Kailangan lang po natin itong ilabas.
Kailangan po nating ilabas ang ating pent-up frustrations bago tayo pumunta sa main topic for tonight. No, pero kasi po usapan talaga na Asik, sabi ni Asik Chris, nako, si Attorney Libertad nag-comment. Ayon yata siya kay Asik. Sige, last. Yes, Attorney, congrats. Okay, last na. Note to me lang, the ABS-CBN has wide reach, especially in the provinces. And ang sa akin lang, ang mabigat lang sa loob ko, kapag nagtuloy-tuloy ito, yung mga radio stations na...
Okay, nawala si Ea pero babalik siya maya-maya lamang. Pinag-uusapan pa rin po natin bilang bahagi po ng QuaranTRENDS itong usapin ng shutdown ng ABS-CBN na ginulantang po tayong lahat. At babalik na rin po si Ea in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, Ea, you're back. I guess, uhaw na uhaw.
Shutdown mo ako?
No. Too much shutdown naman for you.
Yun sa akin, kawalan talaga yung for me yung mga channels and sources of information supposedly sa gitna ng pandemic na ito. Kaya important din for me na mapag-usapan yung shutdown. Especially this is one of the largest media networks in our country, and its role is crucial in also serving as a watchdog amid this pandemic. Right. So, ayun.
Okay.
Jules?
Yeah. Yun, antabayan na lang natin. The ABS-CBN has 10 days, right? To explain to the NTC and then let's see what will happen. Okay. So, we're done with the QuaranTRENDS. And now, ito na yung favorite na inabangan ng lahat, itong QuaranTHINKING natin. At syempre, ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayong gabi, yes, ito pong pinunta nyo ngayong gabi dito sa aming programa, Sex in the Oh my God, it's sex life in the time of pandemic. Mali po ang card dyan ko. Pasensya na. Okay, balik. And balik ulit. Okay, sex life in the time of pandemic. Iya, bakit ba natin pinili na pag-usapan ito ngayon? Iya? Okay, so medyo hindi nakikisama yung...
Am I still on air?
You're here. I can hear you, but you're Ayan, you're moving. Not so. Okay, you're moving again.
Okay.
Not again.
Okay, hindi na ako talaga gagalaw. Basta marinig mo.
Sige.
Exit mo na ako. Bye! I'll be back.
Sige, babalik si Ea. Exit muna siya. Okay. So, ngayon po, ang awkward naman na mag-isa akong pag-uusapan to. Ea, balik ka na dali. Okay. Okay, so sex life in the time of pandemic. Kasi, sige, mag-comment muna kayo para may kausap ako, guys. Okay. Sex life in the time of pandemic. Kasi, maraming nga po ang mga naka-lockdown, di ba? At halos magto 2 months na tayong naka-lockdown. At syempre, bilang part na rin ng human nature, lalo na sa mga partners, di ba? Sa mga magkarelasyon, ginagawa rin naman talaga nila itong aktibidad na ito. Okay? So si Ea nandito na sa wakas, salamat at tinagalan mo. Meron po tayong makakausap na doktor mamaya, pero via phone patch lang. Okay? Pero nagkaroon lang ng technical difficulties ng konti, pero makakausap natin siya mamaya. If you have questions about anything, about sex life or anything, ibato nyo lang po dito. I think it's about time. Tawagan na natin si Doc.
He's here!
He's here!
I don't hear us. Audio check.
Doc?
We still have mature and sexy audience still.
Okay, on the line is Dr. Joseph Lee. Lagi namin siyang guest sa PTV4. And Doc Joseph, maraming salamat po at tinanggap niyo yung invitation namin.
Oo naman, kayo ba naman paghihindian ko ni Jules sa kaniya for all reason and another, my gosh. It's like, this is the first time I'm going to be bombarded with questions from millennials.
Ayan, marami po mga magtatanong. Siguro simulan na natin, yung pinaka first question natin. Ikaw na ang magbato. Go ahead.
Okay, Doc. First question. What would be the psychological and emotional implications ng pandemic sa sex drive ng mga tao? Tsaka siguro, as a starter, you can tell us why it's important to talk about this issue. Kasi hindi siya madalas na pag-uusapan, pero baka napapanahon lalo in this pandemic.
Okay. When you talk about about sex, of course, one, either it's very interesting for some, okay, some meaning those who have naughty minds, okay. Then if you're conservative on the side, sometimes you don't talk about things like sex, okay. But at the end of the day, okay, people would be very interested in talking about sex, okay? What are the pros and cons about sex, especially during this pandemic and ESQ? ECQ, all right, sorry. One is, the longer it takes, then you get into depression. The longer the ECQ, sometimes people go into anxiety, okay? Anxiety is secondary to probably they are stuck in the house. If you are a man who is very active, okay, not only in your work or going around outside of the house, you tend to have the feeling of low self-esteem. When you get to have low self-esteem, then sometimes it causes sexual depression and low sex drive. Okay, there is this what you call. It's not about because you have low or abnormal testosterone. It's not about because you have low libido or your libido has disappeared. This is all about because mentally you feel that you're stuck at home and you have nothing, nothing to do, no work, okay? Probably you're thinking about a lot of things and stress comes into your mental health. So once you have this aspect, people, especially for men, they don't even think about sex anymore for some reason because they are preoccupied at home and you have nothing, nothing to do. No. Yes.
Go ahead, Doc. Yes.
Okay. So what we're saying is the longer that we are in the situation of enclosement or containment. When I say containment, you're in the house for a month or 2 months.
Now, yeah.
Without doing anything, especially for those who have no partners or their partner is on the other side of the fence because due to lockdown,
right.
We have situations like that, okay? It's good that if you are a couple and you are together, it's good because at least you can bond, okay? Yeah. You can talk about something else, communicate, and probably sex will go into it if that is the situation. What if the situation is the other way around? When you are a couple but you are separated because of a certain situation or work due to the lockdown.
Right, Doc. Okay? The question now regarding that, I'd like to emphasize that point kasi the first part of your message na siguro it's applicable for those couples who are together during the lockdown. Now, yung sinasabi mo ngayong bandang end, paano yung mga magkarelasyon na sobrang magkalayo? Pero yung nga nabanggit mo kanina na parang it's part of the ano, 'di ba? Parang natural 'yon sa katawan ng tao itong libido or kung ano man pwede natin itawag diyan. So paano po, Doc, itong mga magkakahiwalay?
Okay. Yan ang mahirap kasi Jules, kasi what you're saying is like, especially if the couples have already had intimacy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So intimacy, meron kang, either it's a certain strong intimacy, tapos biglang ang layo-layo mo, what is your mode of communication and having a sexual language? Is through cell phone, diba? Laptop, or whatever means. These are all mechanical. But this is not enough kasi your hormones are always stimulated by physical and your close contact to the person. It's not because you have devices. Alam mo, may device ka, makakausap mo siya, makakakita mo siya. Hindi yun eh. That's not enough to even arouse you. Okay? Let's say, sabihin mo, Jules, sige, okay lang. Meron tayong cellphone o mag-video call ka dyan. Can you undress yourself so that I will be happy? Hindi naman nakakatawa yan, di ba? For couples that are away. So it's not sufficing to say that is enough. Kahit na nakikita mo siya, but the feeling of the person close to you in flesh, mas maganda ang motivation, even in sex. Okay? Now, granting sasabihin mo, just mas mahirap yun kasi malayo eh.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially for men. Okay. Can you achieve the libido or even the erection after that has to be motivated very strongly by your partner. Pag hindi sanay yung partner mo on a mechanical means, when I say mechanical means, yung video calls, yung ginagamit nating computer, laptop, you do that, you arouse, hindi niya kaya yan. Mas kaya niya when he or she is close to you. You cannot achieve that. Ang hirap, ang tagal. Diba? Parang there is a gap wherein you will fail. Fail in the sense na parang sasabihin ng couple o sasabihin ng Jules, Ian na, huwag na lang kasi parang hindi ko magawa. Yung gusto mong magawa, alam mo yon? You know what I mean? Yung parang, you want me to do this in order to arouse you. I were so far, I would have wanted that close tayo before. Okay lang. Pero layo, parang feeling ko awkward. Parang it's not a habit of mine to do that. But sanay ka naman, okay lang. Paano pag hindi sanay?
Yeah,
You know what
Doc.
I mean?
Yes, Doc. So, paano po yung mga magkakalayo nga or single? How would we address that challenge that they, to address their sexual health even when they're by themselves?
Okay. One is like you have to go into another form of sexual happiness, meaning because sex per se is not the physical thing. It's the contact, okay? Hindi naman yun eh. Then you have to achieve a certain point wherein communication will be applicable. Alam mo, let's talk about something nice. Let's talk about something good for ourselves, yung feeling na ganon. Kasi those talking about things, parang kayo nagliligawan ng malayo. Kasi pag nagliligawan kayo, there is a certain...
Okay, we lost him. Sorry. Ulit. Pero, ayan, dumadami yung mga questions and comments ng ating mga netizens. Kasi nga, mukhang very interesting yung topic natin for tonight. Okay, we'll try to call Dr. Joseph Lee once again. He's addressing currently yung mga challenges para
Doc,
sa
sorry,
mga couple.
cut off.
Na-excite ang phone.
Ayan. Doc, you're back on air.
Okay. So, where did we end? Yun na nga sinasabi ko, Jules. Parang, okay, do you think that talking, by the mere talking, you can give or you can give a sexual arousement to your partner? Yes, diba? Why? You can talk naughty, diba? Later on, sasabihin ng partner mo, o ano ka ba naman, diba? Parang nakakahiya. Pero alam mo, medyo nai-increase ang libido na. Now, for some naman, you can talk romantically para kang nagliligawan. Then you can achieve that. Okay?
Kulig muna, Doc.
Hello.
Yes, Doc.
Doc. Go ahead, Doc.
Nagkakaroon ng problem at saka Jules kasi when they start pushing somebody to do what they don't usually do, diba? Then that is the problem of being separated, and when your communication becomes so guarded, meaning gusto mo to, hindi ko kaya, ang layo-layo natin. Hindi natin mapipili dyan, di ba? We want to communicate with your partner even so far. Tapos, ang nangyayari kasi, nag-aaway kayo because yung isa may gustong ganyan, yung isa ganon. You cannot achieve. You cannot achieve something that is sexually stimulating, okay? Sexually stimulating but not physical, okay? This is communication. You have to remember there's a certain stimulatory factor even through verbal.
Yeah.
Okay? Minsan kasi you don't need to touch somebody to arouse somebody. At a few instances kasi pwede mo na ma-arouse yung partner mo or even your wife or even your husband by talking, no? It's a way of thing that sinasabi that there is a sexual psychological thing with communication. Why? Because you talk about something beautiful. You talk about something very stimulating, di ba? Kasi anong example niya kagaya iyan, Jules? Parang natatandaan mo ba? Pag hinahalikan kita, example nafe-feel mo ba tayo, you become poetic and all those stuff. Paulit-ulit yan, very constantly, ma-arouse na yung person. Kahit naman siya. So you can achieve that, diba?
Yes, Doc. Okay, Doc, meron pong question yung isa sa mga viewers natin. Sabi niya, si Attorney Noni Libertad po. Ang question niya po, Doc, I'm most worried about couples who do not have much things to do, especially now na wala na pong Channel 2. Napapanoorin. Na-segue niya yun. Would you know any accessible family planning campaigns or platforms na people could visit or consult to ngayong ECQ? Kasi po, kaugnay po ito na sinasabi ng Popcom na possibly biglang marami ang maisilang na sanggol pagkatapos ng lockdown.
Okay. I agree. Alam mo, Jules, baka magka-baby boom tayo. Okay? I'm happy pag baby boom. I'm worried, Iya and Jules, pag magkaroon tayo ng battered couples. You know what I mean?
That's another issue.
Yung asawa mo, medyo mainitin ng ulo, laging, alam mo, sometimes kasi, they don't react and they don't hit you. But sometimes kasi they use very strong verbal communication and words. Okay? Hindi pa yung tinatamaan, hindi pa lumalabas yung talagang pinakapintik. Diba? Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ngayon minsan ng problems. Kasi matagal, you have battered couples now. Okay? Binubugbog kasi ang tawag yung Tagalog, nababagot.
Yeah.
Sa sobrang niya, ang ginagawa niya, nagre-retaliate siya, yung asawa niya, ang pinupugbog o yung kapamilya niya, children for them. Okay. Now, if you're talking about there is no medium for channel, walang television, walang Netflix. Okay, kung wala naman channel 2, baka meron naman channel 7, Jules o mga HBO. Pero pag gusto nila channel 2, I think they have to go to other venues for that. Okay, now, just in case na walang mga ganyan mediums, wala silang radyo, wala silang walang chance na yan, na ang gagawin na lang yan, maglabing-labing. Diba? So you create more of the baby boom yung after the ECQ or the lockdown.
Yes.
So you expect a lot of pregnant women or mothers in the future.
Yeah.
I would want that rather, kasi hindi naman maganda kasi our population will increase. Ayaw ko naman yung sinasabi ko kanina na battered couples later on coming in because of depression and low self-esteem. No?
Yeah.
So, Doc, when we were talking now about the pregnancies now, higher chances of pregnancies, maybe you can give our viewers also some reminders or tips on maybe, number one, also preventing sexually transmitted diseases, and family planning or pregnancy controls.
Okay, initially kasi, during the time, let's say, na lockdown kayo, okay, of course, hindi nyo plano yan, kagaya sinabi ni Jules, na you will be having sexual contact more often than not, okay? So probably, sa house niyo, hindi ka naman prepared ng mga contraceptives, like for women, like pills, or condoms, di ba? Unless you have them in the household, di ba? Kasi this is not unprepared. We presume na unprepared ka, okay? So the best thing, if you want to do family planning, is withdrawal, okay? How do you do it? Baka mabuntis naman ako pag hindi tama, so that there is a chance for that. Or you just prevent, sexual performance or yung talagang yung sexual contact mo na ipapasok mo talaga doon sa female genitalia. So wala talagang ganun. The only thing that you will do is embrace, hug each other, kiss each other, pero hindi rin di ba? Just mahirap rin yun kasi at the end of the day, you will reach to that point, di ba? To that climax. So it's difficult. Now, with regards to sexually transmitted disease, of course, pag naka-lockdown ka, siguro yun lang ang partner mo. You don't go around and gallivanting and looking for other partners. So the chances of having incurred sexually transmitted disease from another person is very low percentage. Okay. The only thing that we are afraid of is if you are not hygienic, happy ka, masyado kang hyper, baka urinary tract infection o urethritis lang ang pinaka-basic na poproblemahin natin. No? Yun.
Okay.
Sorry, Doc. Sorry, Jules. I just wanna clarify. Sir, paano yung, was that UTI and then you mentioned another one?
Urethritis.
Urethritis. How does it happen?
Urethritis kasi, you can have it in continuous sexual contact. Sometimes kasi, parang over active sexual contact. Sometimes you do not have much of the hygiene in preparation for that. Cause irritation to the lining, the female lining, not only to the female but also to the male, yung pinaka tract nila, yung pinaka initial tract ng male and female reproductive system, no? So, yung pinakadaanan ng ihi, pwede yung magkaroon ng infection, no?
Okay, Doc, I'd like to go back to the case of homes na magkakasama yung mga partners or mga couples at the moment. Let's say na regular itong sex activity nila. Let's say every other day or every day nila siya ginagawa. Pero dumating sa point na kasi nga naging unusual na nasa bahay lang lagi ngayon. So much bonding moments. Dumating sa point na yung isa sa couple, isa sa kanila, ay umaayaw na. Pero itong isa naman gusto pa rin. Ano ang ma-advise ninyo dito sa couple na to, particularly dun sa nag-i-initiate lagi, na pwede niyang pag-rechannelan ng kanyang urges?
Okay. That is very tricky, Jules, because one is you need to communicate, okay? Why? Kasi pag ang lalaki ang agresibo, tapos as a certain time na ang babae mag-aayaw, and you have a lockdown that is like presumably 2 months or 3 months, baka mabugno na naman ng lalaki at mabwisit sa'yo. Baka this is what we are happening. We have couples we have stories coming in. Baka mabattered ka. Alam mo yung mabwisit.
Yeah.
Masaktan ka. Naturally, this does not probably come mainis. Alam mo yon. Parang sinasabi, ngayon lang nga tayo magkasama eh. Tapos inaayawan mo pa ako. Tapos kung wala naman ako, dadak ka naman ng dadak. Diba? So, pwedeng ganun mga conversation. So, initially, I think both couples should sit down and talk about it. Okay, this is very easy, especially.
Okay, let's try one.
Sorry, na-cut.
Yeah.
We'll bring him
Yeah. Ayan, ang daming mga nagtatanong dito
back.
mga concerns nila. Sige, let's call him.
Doc, you're back on air.
Na-excite na naman ang phone.
Yes.
Okay, ang ano ko dyan kasi Jules, sabi ko, okay. Now, pwede yung taktika yung psychological thing, no? If let's say, granting you have like 3 kids, diba? Kunyari lang, may 3 ng anak, pwede mo naman sabihin sa husband mo, alam mo naman, honey, baka sa sobra nating kasayahan madagdagan, diba? Kasi doon minsan napupunto yung if the guy is not really prepared to have children in the next few years, pwede mag-isip yan You get my point, Jules? Parang,
yes.
Oo nga, no? Baka mabuntis ka. So, mag-ano muna siya, back forward siya na parang, sige, ingat lang tayo. So, wag muna doon sa fertile day mo. Doon muna sa safe day mo, no? You get to have yourself protected, okay? Parang kung sa babae parang, okay na. At least, hindi ako mabubuntis kahit na walang contraceptive sa bahay.
Babalik sa natural planning.
Yeah,
calendar
natural planning.
method.
It's important for you to talk. Kasi minsan, pag agresibo yung isang partner mo, ang hirap and there's lockdown, you have nothing really to do unless you tell the person or you do something, you ask him to do this, then do that, then do that. Matadivert. Okay lang yon, diba? Okay lang yon. Pero pag talagang hindi matiis, kagaya sinabi ni Jules, and you have children, it's kind of scary to guide. Sabi niya, gusto mo ba madagdagan ng natin, budget natin na hindi naman kanais-nais, di ba? Okay, so at least it tends to, the guy will move back and say, nga, no, tama ka, ganun na lang gawin natin, honey, we do other stuff na lang, okay? Yeah. Unless the couple doesn't have children, mahirap rin yun, then you have to talk about it kasi this is a chance for you guys to make a baby. Diba?
So, it boils down now to communication talaga.
Yes. is communication, Jules, for both, no? Even sex, no? Okay, if it's liking, it's a favorable, something you don't like, at the very least, if you will be locked down 2 or 3 months, you have to communicate. You have to remember, especially for men, those who are listening right now, if you're under a lot of stress, pwede kang low sex drive, sexual depression, and anxiety. And mind you, erectile dysfunction. Hindi natin to. Psychological erectile dysfunction, meaning the male genitalian might not go into erection. Yun naman ang problema mo. Di ba, Iya? Pag hindi naman mag-erect, gusto ng babae mag-sexual performance sila, hindi naman mag-erect kasi yung partner mo, ang dami-daming iniisip, paano na yung trabaho, hindi na po, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Then you get into problems also. Diba? So there's another toss of the coin with regards to that.
So, Doc, how do we address that naman? Yung mga ganong klase, kasi it also, kagaya nung sabi mo kanina, it's affected by the stress, by mental health, yung nangyayari around them. That's one concern. And then also may nag-comment kanina about masturbation. Is that an advisable option for couples or even for single? And also may specific question, is it actually helpful in preventing prostate cancer?
This one.
Right, okay. Saan muna tayo sa single? Okay. Pag single, walang partner, malungkot, sige, I agree, mag-masturbate ka. Okay? Okay lang yun. Don't do it public, ha? Baka mahuli ka. Okay? Kasi walang quarantine pass ang masturbation. Okay.
Doc, bago mo ituloy yan, nabanggit mo dati sa morning show sa PTV na merong frequency dapat sa isang buwan for guys to do it?
21 times in a month.
In a month. Okay, in a month naman. Akala ko in a day. Akala ko in a day. Yung 21.
Iyan, this is a normal average once a day. You can have masturbation, okay, 21 days, okay. We have a calendar of 30 days, so you have 9 days of rest, okay. Now, if you have more than that, kaya mo, bata ka, why not? But averagely, you are allowed 21 times in a month. But more than kaya mo, okay lang yan, sige. Now, what is our question? So, masturbation, pag solo ka, naka-lockdown ka, pwede. Okay. Now, siguro, it's a different thing. Pag solo ka, but you are committed to your partner, okay, some people will communicate verbally, di ba? Sasabihin, mag-video call. Oo. Parang sabihin, isa girlfriend niya, can you arouse me? This is, again, sabi ko, this is communication. Kasi minsan sasabihin ng girlfriend mo na sa malayo, ano ka ba? Oo, hindi ko kayang gawin yan. Gusto mo i-arouse kita. You get what I mean? Oo. So you do it yourself na lang. O minsan mabubugno na naman yung boyfriend mo. Sabi, ayaw mo ko pabigyan. Ano gusto mong gawin ko? You know, all those stuff. It's a communication again Kasi sometimes the guy wants you to do this and you are not familiar unless the female partner can do it. Why not? Okay, sige, you do that. Okay. That's allowable. At least hindi ma-stress, no? This is for solo. Now, for the couple kasi, they say that masturbation, excessive masturbation doesn't really lead to prostate cancer. It's a different pathological disease, no? Because it's genetic, it's hereditary, it's hormonally based, no? Prostatic cancer. So you can, it doesn't have anything to do with masturbation. What is the other question with the couple?
Is it, yun nga po, kung advisable ba na alternative ang masturbation? Yes.
Couple. Okay. Again, Jules, at communication yan, ha? This can be coincided with the question you were saying kanina. Parang masyado siyang hyper. Nagsisex kayo, araw-araw, biglang ayaw mo na, natakot ka. Okay. Isa communication. O baka magka-problema tayo, mabuntis ako, baka ayaw mo, we're not planning it. I can arouse you, you just masturbate. Is it okay? Again, communication. So you watch your guy masturbate. Diba? Ganun na lang. But most of the time kasi, you need to really communicate kasi minsan the guys would not want just to do it kasi may partner. You get my point? May asawa ka eh. Andyan yung asawa mo eh. Bakit ako magmamasturbate? Or hindi, let's just have fun. Ikaw ang mag-masturbate sa akin. Pwede na rin yun. Again, communication rin yun. If it's a mutual understanding of both that you will not penetrate, it's okay.
Alright. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
Yun na sinasabi ko.
Yes.
Ang ano niyan, Jules, is like communication. Whatever means, whatever satisfaction, whatever will stimulate your libido, why not? Okay? Masturbation with your partner, happy ka while your partner is stimulating you, why not? Kasi ano naman sila eh, they're married, di ba? There is nothing, feeling ko there's nothing wrong with that. You want to do it introitus, meaning with sexual performance, okay? But you're scared you might get pregnant, not this time, or you plan and you communicate. Again, you communicate.
Okay.
Everything has to be communicated because both partners should be willing, hindi yung parang isa. Kasi that's where you tend to have like, sasabihin mo, ay, na-force ako na mag-sex because I do not like. No. So you communicate. Then you discuss. That is a very good arousal thing, even on the aspect of sexual communication.
Alright, Doc. Yeah, Doc Joseph. So basically, consent is key. Yung pa rin talaga yung pinakamahalaga sa communication. Kailangan may consent bago gawin itong mga bagay-bagay na to. Siguro, Doc, before we wrap up this conversation, this issue of, this period of pandemic, this COVID-19, everything's uncertain kasi hindi natin alam kung hanggang kailan. We're not so sure kung matatapos na rin ba itong issue na to by May 15. So the question is, whether ECQ pa rin or GCQ pa rin, kapag GCQ, hotels ay hindi pa rin pwede, ang pagkakaalam ko hindi pa rin pwede hotels, ano magiging tips nyo para sa mga couples na napaghiwalay na lockdown? And since everything's still uncertain, how can they siguro talk about things on how they could proceed to make their sex life still alive even magkalayo sila?
Alright, okay. Maganda yan. That's very interesting, Jules, kasi one is like we were mentioning a while ago, di ba, Iya? Like, you communicate, okay? Because one thing, you're separated. Ang layo ninyo eh. So what to do?
Mm-hmm.
Di ba? The longer the lockdown is going to happen, pag hindi kayo nagko-communicate, wala rin. It's like having your partner out of the country and you are here in the Philippines. Ganyan rin, di ba? Minsan, di ba sinasabi nyo, long distance relationship sometimes doesn't work. Yeah. It works when you communicate, di ba? Then you breach the trust.
Okay. Tawag yan tayo ulit. Pero pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, paano yung mga couples na napaghiwalay.
Sorry, tawagan ulit natin si Doc.
Yes, yung mga napaghiwalay ng lockdown. Pero kailangan pa rin buhayin ang sex life nila.
Yes. You're back on air, Doc.
Kasi wala ka namang choice kasi not to distrust the person because there is COVID-19. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kasi
Aha.
pag minsan kasi pag meron kang boyfriend, malayo, wala namang COVID-19, may mag-iisip ka, ba't ang layo-layo mo, ganyan. Ngayon, may reason ka na parang kasi may COVID-19,
Yeah.
may lockdown, okay, behave siguro ito. Pero siguro pag after everything, wag na gawing reason ang COVID-19. Alright? Okay. Baka maging reason niya na parang,
Oo nga.
kasi, alam mo to, may virus daw, okay, wag naman sana. Okay, now, communication is one. Then, I know it's difficult, sabi nga ni Jules, it's difficult for both people who are afar to have some sexual contact. Of course, you never can know. Siguro, what you do is, you plan, parang wedding you plan, siguro after this, mag-date tayo. Let's do it nicely, parang ganun. Parang there is a feeling of your hormones surging na parang yung, ano ba yung sinasabi nila na parang ini-expect mo na darating siya soon, might not be soon, but soon enough.
You're looking forward to something.
Exactly. Parang ano yan, parang, sige, it will be very exciting. Kita na tayo, alam mo yon. Tiis-tiis lang. Di ba may ganun? Pag diba, when people are talking, parang tiis ka lang dyan. Alam mo, basta, love kita, honey, ganyan, pag nagkita tayo, buhus natin lahat, mga ganun. So that makes I think the sex life still alive. Kasi your communication, at the very least kasi, Jules, communication pa rin eh. Alam mo, communication, alam mo, mahirap yan, ano. Wag kang magpapatid, di ba? Kasi once you stop that, wala na, di ba? Kasi baka magtuloy-tuloy yan, di ba? Mag-relax yan, you tend to, not think about it, and the feeling of later on, na parang not wanting to have that, can be an issue. When I say not wanting to have that, wag na mag-sex, gano'n, tsaka na. Iba nang iisipin ko. Madadivert na yan. Yami?
You have question, Ea?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Doc, for answering the questions. Let's see, may questions pa ba ang ating viewers for Doc Jules?
Alam ko, this is a doctor as well, Dr. Gilbert Guiang.
Yang, hi Doc. Yan, if you have concerns on sexually transmitted diseases, genital skin diseases, yan, Dr. Gilbert Yang's contact information is on the comment section.
May sinabi rin siya, this is very relevant. People are ashamed to talk about sex. These continue to rise. I can share more about STDs, the common symptoms, and how to prevent them. Yeah, that's our point here in QuaranTALK. Na pag-usapan talaga tong issue na to, especially now during lockdown, kasi maraming mga nakakulong sarili nilang mga bahay. Okay, so as we wrap up, Doc, may mensahe ka po ba sa mga viewers natin to wrap things up?
Okay. Alam mo, Jules, sometimes this lockdown is good for beginning couples, okay? They tend to know each other more, and sex is one element to bring them and to bind them closer, okay? So there is a close contact communication. Like we discussed, for those taking part and solo and their committed partner is way far, okay? What my advice is, they continue to have a good relationship by communicating of whatever means, okay? Because this is not the end of the tunnel, because at the end of the day, they will still meet, and when they have a very good communication, they will still have good sex life later on, okay? Now, for those who are solo, without commitment, without any partner, of course, do not be depressed. You can do things, like we have mentioned. Just don't do things that are foolish, okay? Like for men, kung gusto mo mag-masturbate, okay, allowable. Don't do anything foolish, meaning in the public, okay? Okay? kasi wala naman, kailangan magpalabas, ganun. Okay. Now, everything should be done safe, everything should be done in context of whatever religion and whatever, di ba? Huwag tayong, we should not go beyond, okay? Then, my take is like, even if you do otherwise, there should be communication, because communication even in sex is worthwhile, and that increases your hormones even though you are close or even though you are way far apart. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Doc Joseph Lee,
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank you,
us
Jules and Mia,
tonight.
for the invitation.
Yes,
Our
salamat
pleasure
po.
po.
Alright.
Thank
Salamat
you.
po. Good night po.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay, ayan. So, naging very interesting ang conversation natin together with Dr. Joseph Lee. And we talked about, nag-break down tayo ng mga topics patungkol dito sa sex life in the time of pandemic. Ang pinaka-takeaway ko dito ay communication is key and consent is very important.
Yes, and if you have concerns about things happening between you and your partner at home, I hope you find the courage to reach out and seek help for those who are suffering in their homes while we're on quarantine. Kasi importante rin yun na na-break na. Yes,
There's a very interesting question now. Do you think that there will be a spike in casual sex once ECQ is lifted? Would that contribute to more COVID cases? This is very interesting. Well, if it's GCQ already, we need to go back to the omnibus guidelines na nilabas ng Palas. I'm not so sure if hotels can be open or if you could go to other houses talaga and do those casual sex. Pero your last question is very interesting kasi would this contribute to more COVID cases? Kasi nga naman, magsa-social distancing nga kayo outside pero when you're inside your homes na or your rooms, wala nang social distancing doon. So that's a very relevant question. I think it could spike kung merong ang cases pa ng COVID by that time.
Dr. Yang is actually agreeing na quarantine pa lang mas marami pag GCQ na. Also, hindi yata natin na-highlight kanina, but yes, sexual activity is not necessarily discouraged when you're a couple, when you have a partner, when you're at home, but also there's no sexually transmitted virus, or I mean, because the coronavirus is not scientifically proven that it's transmitted sexually, but still kissing and touching could still infect your partner, your sexual partner. So it's still discouraged outside, and even it's still risky. It's a high risk activity. Ayun. Sexual activity is a high risk activity because of the risk of getting the virus or being infected by the virus because of the change of saliva and bodily fluids.
Yeah. So it's a very complex issue. Actually, the other day, na-interview ko sa PTV for my morning show si Yusek Lizadinho of FDCP naman. So para naman to sa movie industry, paano daw yung mga scenes? Sabi nila, naglabas sila ng protocols, very strict protocols. Bawal ang kissing, bawal ang holding hands, basta lahat ng mga scenes na very intimate bawal. So talagang nabuwag ng COVID-19 itong pinaka intimate na mga eksena even sa movie houses. So it goes the same even for the real life, 'di ba? So yun nga, imagine you cannot kiss your partner kung kalayo ka ngayon, pagbalik nyo baka makahawa pa rin kasi.
Right. That's an interesting thing to see and reflect in the movies and in the media content that we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. What's our life like now that there's ECQ and GCQ and the threat of the virus? But also, again, hindi lang, balikan ko lang, Jules, yung sinabi mo about the hotels, if it's allowed. Hindi lang sa hotel yan, pati yung pagpunta sa, when you have a partner, you go to the other's house or maybe there's their Airbnbs na I don't know how regulated those are. But yeah, there are other venues that where sexual activity may happen. So I think it really is up to us individuals to practice to be cautious also in engaging in those kinds of activities.
Okay. So I guess we covered so many things already about this topic. Supposedly po sa mga viewers natin dahil maraming nanonood, hanggang 11:30 lang po, 30 minutes lang yung show na to. But kapag sobrang kailangan tayo natin extend, nag-extend tayo. So the last part of our show is
Yes.
about the contributions of people during COVID. So pinangalanan namin siyang, anong ambag mo? Okay.
Yes.
Ano ang tampok nating grupo ngayon?
Ayan. Ngayong gabi, ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang ambag ng Volunteer Shoppers for COVID-19 Philippines. And that's a graphics from the 2030 Youth Force in the Philippines. It's about this initiative where volunteers can sign up to get the groceries and other essential supplies for the senior citizens and the immunocompromised individuals in their communities. So, ayan, when you go to their Facebook page, Volunteer Shopper PH, you'll see there are some steps. So first, you just have to sign up if you want to volunteer. And then you will be connected to someone who needs help in getting their groceries. And then there will be, you can arrange the delivery, which, the delivery is either via the third-party service providers and delivery services, or they just make sure that there's no contact when they deliver the goods to the senior citizens and the immunocompromised individuals in the community. And also, if you're a senior citizen or if you have someone in the family who's more vulnerable to COVID-19, you can sign up and express your intent to look for a volunteer who can help you out in getting your groceries and other essential supplies. So yun, buhay na buhay yung spirit ng bayanihan dito sa Volunteer Shoppers for COVID-19 Philippines. And may I just share, in our community, I'm currently in Malabon, in the barangay, there are some barangay accredited riders and shoppers that the citizens can contact, and they have their IDs also. So yeah, they're accredited by the barangay. So
Okay.
yeah, so they
Ayan.
also get supplies. Yes.
Yeah, so for our viewers, if you have if you know of any groups na merong magandang ambag sa communities nila in the context of this COVID-19, sabihin nyo lang po kami para ma-feature natin sila dito kasi sobrang dami nagbabayanihan dito sa gitna ng pandemic.
Right, and I would also wanna invite our viewers that if you have concerns that you would want to be tackled, talked about, discussed, please feel free to reach out, message us on Facebook, and yeah, let us know about the topics that you want to be discussed. Because medyo ilang weeks pa tong quarantine, and we're here, so we'll try to find the best resource speakers that we can talk to about those concerns. Because here in QuaranTALK, we talk about all concerns about the quarantine and the coronavirus.
Right. So on the 15th, we'll be waiting for the decision, but I think days before naman magkaka-decision ng IATF whether or not they will lift or extend the ECQ. Okay, so for our next episode on Friday, we will be talking about mental health. So it's another very important issue na kailangan pag-usapan during this COVID-19. So sa lahat po ng mga viewers natin na merong suggestion na pwede natin mapag-usapan about mental health, you have questions na gusto nyo tanungin namin, i-suggest nyo lang po sa amin.
Right. So, ayan. Thank you very much for joining us. Kita-kita ulit tayo dito sa daldalang walang curfew.
Usapang walang lockdown, ito ang
QuaranTALK.
live po tayo sa Facebook on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays tuwing 11 p.m.
Yes, and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/QuaranTALKonline.
Ako po si Jules Guiang. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's @Jules Guiang. And please watch my morning show on PTV4, Bagong Pilipinas, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m.
Yes, and I'm Aya Antonio. Connect with me on Twitter @Aya_Antonio and on Instagram at A. Antonio. You can also watch the ABS-CBN content through abscbn.com. On Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram and Twitter, and there, and also ANC Channel 27 on Sky, and Channel 22. There, thank you
Thank you so
everyone!
much. See you on Friday. Bye.
Good night.